rains, I can't film.
Yeah.
So I'm out here again today on the Butler Chain of Lakes again, fishing with Tyler. He's from Kentucky, and it's warm again. Crazy Florida weather. It was freezing cold last week, had to cancel all my trips. All of a sudden today it's 65 degrees, and we're on the Butler Chain. The water has warmed from the low 50s up to 60 degrees. It is the middle of January here, so these fish should be wanting to move up to spawn. They have been pushing some bait up against the shoreline. If you notice, if you watch any of my videos fishing the Butler Chain, we're usually way out offshore, which we will be doing some of that today, but some of these fish, it seems, are pushing closer to the banks, up in the lily pads and stuff. So we're gonna try a whole bunch of stuff. We're only out here for 4 hours this morning. I hope I can keep filming, but it's kind of rainy and it'll mess up my cameras and stuff if it rains. But I'm gonna try and film, and stay tuned and see what we can catch. Got him? Ain't a bad fish.
Honestly, my biggest fish is probably only 4 pounds. The lake just sucks.
This fish out here pull real hard too. 3 pounds probably.
Yeah, you're not lying. He just grabbed it and yeah, you weren't kidding. Yeah, I'm a picture of this guy.
Yeah. That's our second bite of the morning. Little, probably almost close to 3 pound chunk on a fluke.
Good color.
We didn't, I didn't have the cameras out for the first one. I was showing them how we were going to be using the fluke, and one ate it, which is usually the kiss of death when you get one on the first bite, first cast, but that's our second one. A little rainy, so I had to keep putting the cameras away, but hopefully it's going to leave us alone now and we can keep fishing, or keep filming, because they should be biting good today.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's go catch some more. Your picture. Is that a fish? Here's one. See, watch. I'm not gonna set the hook on this fish.
Playing with it.
I'm gonna show you how long these Florida fish. See, he's still swimming with it, and I'm trying to pull it out of his mouth.
You just won't let go.
And he won't let go. There, I finally reeled it out of his mouth.
Look, that was like 15 seconds.
Yeah. And he'll probably come back and hit it if I stopped it. Nope. That's the problem with these flukes, is a lot of people, they throw them out there, and as soon as that fish bites, they set the hook, and these Florida bass are not really into...
I mean, look, you doing that just shows you
Yeah.
really don't have to do it at all.
Half the time I try and do that, and they'll hook themselves.
You know, it's funny, I watch fishing shows all the time, and just like, you're doing, just letting it swim and then set it, and I'm like, why can't we do that here?
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean, if they hit it, you better set it.
Yeah. I've been on lakes, and mostly it's out of Florida, where you get a bite and you're setting the hook,
Yeah.
Or it's gone. Smallmouth to me seem to be that way a little bit. Not these Florida largemouth. They're brutal. All right, so I am going to throw a big time Florida secret here. We have not had much of a topwater bite lately, but this is an old school devil's horse. These things have been around. I don't know when the devil's horse was created.
Like a walking dog type of
No, it's an old school balsa wood prop bait.
Oh, I know. You just got that little spinner on the tail. I
Yeah.
have one of those. Yeah.
This is
Got it from a dad.
20 years ago, when I used to live down in Clewiston, Roland Martin told me that if you're on a Florida lake, you need to have a devil's horse tied on, and I almost always have one tied on. I didn't just now, but I tied one on. And we are pre-spawn here. They might spawn here on this next full moon with the water warming up if another front doesn't mess it up. But there's no surface activity. It doesn't really matter if I catch a fish, so I'm gonna throw this devil's horse and see if I can create a topwater bite. The best devil's horse you can get are these old beat up ones with half the paint beat off. The hooks are all bent up, props are all twisted, because I've caught a lot of fish on it, but that devil's horse right there, that's my favorite. And, oh, there's one on that topwater. I didn't even move it. Nah. Didn't even move the devil's horse. And he came up and ate it. Little cruising male. Hooked him right in the bottom lip.
Long skinny guy.
Yeah, he is skinny. So they're running in schools right now at the devil's horse.
Like you said, Roland told you to have it on.
Yeah. Nice. He's 2.5.
Did you know you hit it?
No. I just started pulling my line. Wasn't paying attention. Talking about my kids.
That's what happened to us starting our one of the last tournaments. It was right early in the morning. You're on top water. And there's a roost of turkeys up in the trees. We're just watching. My buddy's calling at them. And next thing we know, we just...
There you go. Finally. Decent fish? Ain't a bad one. I was just getting ready to leave.
Good move to this spot.
Yeah, they pull hard, don't they?
Down there. Come on up.
Not a bad fish. This is what we call a 10 and 2. It's 10 pounds of grass and 2 pounds of fish.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. He got hooked in the side. Look at that. Somehow, this fish, I have no idea how in the world he just hooked him this way.
I haven't seen
That line is outside, went under his gill plate. He must have been letting it go when you set the hook on him or something. Yeah. Nice fish though.
Not bad.
Bleeding a little bit, 2.5.
Yeah.
That's why he's pulling so hard, because he's all sideways.
Yeah, it's like whenever
I don't know how that happened. Is that a new one? That's a new one. Get you another
I
fluke.
hooked into a gar like that one time, right in the side of him.
Jesus. How does that not give him a headache?
I watched one do that in Jamaica for like 10 minutes one day. He just surfed on a pond at a resort, just diving. That's
So we are back in here in a small lake at the Butler Chain. Bunch of grass under the water. We're just kind of fishing out in the middle of nowhere. There's some deep holes around us. There's a bunch of shad in here. They've been in here for a while. A bunch of seagulls and Arctic terns and pelicans crashing down on the bait. But it's real overcast today and on and off rain. So I'm gonna have to keep covering my cameras up so they don't get all wet. But we just caught that fish and missed a couple other ones, but I think they're just in here burning this bait around in big circles and we're having trouble getting on them. But there's definitely a lot of fish in here. Usually is this time of year. Pre-spawn, they're chasing shad around. I've seen some of the cormorants that are diving come up with shad that are, you know, size of a rattle trap. I threw a chatterbait for a little bit, couldn't get them to hit it. But they will always hit that weightless fluke in here. And I'm sick of fishing. I was guiding. I was like, man, oh, there's one. Little guy. They don't know they're little on this lake though. We should be catching a lot bigger fish than this time of year. Just cold water. These fish feel like they're coming out of a refrigerator. But they're all fun.
I don't know how you fish so much. Isn't that boring? I'm like, I can go out there for 8 hours and I might not catch a damn fish and I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah. It's always learning. Throw something different. All right, so we're about done fishing today. We did a little 4-hour trip this morning. It feels great out here now. I had to cover the camera up a bunch of times because it was raining on us. These clear bodies of water here in Florida sometimes don't like this overcast, so we didn't have a lot of action today. We fished quite a few spots, got on some fish offshore where a bunch of pelicans and terns and seagulls and stuff were diving on shad, and he caught a decent one in there and missed some. I caught one on topwater. That was it. They're pre-spawned now. A lot of times you can get them when they're cruising around on topwater on an old school devil's horse. It's not out anymore. But again, this watermelon red fluke with this 4/0 offset hook caught him the best. 15-pound mono. And I mean, we only caught about a half dozen fish today, but that's how it goes sometimes. But we worked it hard, and it's his birthday today, so happy 31st birthday.
Yes, sir.
From Kentucky. So I'll be back out here tomorrow. Not sure if I'm filming or not, but I'm gonna try to. Hopefully this fish will turn on and the sun will come back out, because we got another front coming through this weekend, so they should move up. Water's almost 61 degrees. You'll pull up here one day and there'll be beds all over the place. Hopefully that's sometime this week. Would have been nice today, but he did catch some decent fish. But please subscribe to my channel, keep watching, and see you next time.